In the shadow of titanic alien gladiators, a small creature named Eco took his tentative steps into the colossal arena, his presence almost swallowed by the scale of his surroundings. The alien crowd erupted in scornful laughter, mocking the tiny figure who dared compete in the universe's fiercest tournament. Just as the ridicule reached its peak, a calm, confident human Sam stepped forward, placing a protective hand on Eco's back and declared loudly enough for every spectator to hear, "Judge him at your peril, for he is not alone, and size is the least of his weapons." The Vortex Arena, a colossal structure with towering spires and neon-lit arches, vibrated with the energy of 1,000 worlds as spectators from across the galaxy filled the stands. Today marked the commencement of the Galactic Challenge, a tournament celebrated not only for its fierce competition but also for the diversity of creatures it attracted. Among the giants and the grotesque, the sleek and the deadly, one contestant scarcely garnered attention: Eco, a diminutive figure from a remote terrestrial planet. Sam Jennings, Eco's human partner, navigated through the bustling preparation area, his hand resting gently on Eco's shoulder. Their equipment was modest, almost rudimentary, compared to the high-tech armor and weaponry that adorned their rivals. Despite this, Sam's faith in Eco remained unshaken. "Don't let them intimidate you," Sam whispered as a particularly large creature loomed over them, its voice echoing through the locker room. "You're here because you've earned your place." Eco nodded, his large eyes sweeping the room, absorbing the sneers and snickers from creatures twice his size. They doubted him, and he felt their doubt as a palpable weight. Yet beneath that weight simmered a spark, a burning desire to prove himself not just to them but to the entire galaxy. As they approached the sign-in booth, a loud, derisive laugh pierced the hum of the crowd. "Is this a joke? Where's the real warrior?" jeered a towering Braxillian, his tone dripping with scorn. Sam stiffened, his eyes narrowing. "This joke will wipe that smirk off your face soon enough," he retorted, his protective instinct flaring as he checked Eco in for the competition. Their first challenge was a mere hour away. As they walked toward the arena, the corridor felt like a gauntlet, with eyes trailing their every move. Laughter and mocking whispers reverberated off the walls, setting Eco's nerves on edge. Upon entering the arena, the full magnitude of their challenge became evident. The opening ceremony was a cacophony of roars, cheers, and the thunderous clamor of drums. The master of ceremonies, a flamboyant figure with a resonant voice, introduced each competitor. When Eco's turn arrived, the introduction was met with laughter and a sparse scattering of applause, more mocking than encouraging. Eco took his position in the arena, small in stature but resolute in posture. Sam leaned in, his voice meant only for Eco. "Remember what we trained for. Speed and smarts over strength. You've got this." As the first round commenced, Eco faced a Goliath from Garganox, a beast whose mere footsteps made the arena floor tremble. Eco's strategy was straightforward: evade and outmaneuver. The crowd's laughter soon turned to gasps as Eco dodged each thunderous blow with agility that belied his size, his movements a blur. The round concluded with the Goliath panting and bewildered, having failed to land even a single hit on Eco. The crowd's attitude shifted subtly, the mockery tinged with a hint of respect. As they exited the arena, Sam clapped Eco on the back, his smile broad. "See? Size isn't everything. Let's keep them guessing." As the Galactic Challenge advanced, Eco's unexpected triumph in the initial round set the spectator stands abuzz, sparking murmurs and cautious bets. The subsequent challenge was a labyrinth designed to test not only physical agility but also strategic acumen, a maze replete with traps, illusions, and puzzles. In the preparation area, Sam reviewed the maze's blueprint with Eco, highlighting potential hazards and routes on a digital map. The physical barriers are one thing, but be wary of the optical illusions. They're crafted to disorient and confuse, Sam instructed, his finger tracing a route on the screen. Eco, absorbing every detail, nodded. His eyes, capable of discerning subtler visual cues than most species, might provide him an advantage against the illusions, though the traps were a different concern. "What about the traps?" he inquired, his voice low. We'll count on your agility for those. Remember, this is about reaction time. I'll guide you through the comms, alerting you to anything you might overlook, Sam reassured him, adjusting the tiny earpiece that facilitated their communication. As they made their way to the arena for the second round, the atmosphere was electric, now tinged with respect for the diminutive contender who had defied expectations. Iko entered the labyrinth, every sense heightened, fully alert. The maze itself was a convoluted network of towering walls, shifting floors, and deceptive corridors. From the start, Iko's small stature enabled him to navigate through narrow passages inaccessible to larger competitors. His swift, agile movements rendered him elusive to the automated traps, which intermittently sprang up, discharging nets or beams of light intended to stun or ensnare. Left, now right, straight, then a sharp left again. Sam's voice was a constant in Iko's ear, navigating him with precision. At one juncture, a floor panel beneath Iko began to glow ominously. "Jump back!" came Sam's timely warning, and Iko leapt away just as the panel unleashed a potent electric shock. As Iko advanced, he confronted a series of mirrors that generated confusing, multiple reflections. While other competitors paused, uncertain, Iko leveraged his acute vision to swiftly distinguish reality from illusion, his compact form slipping through the actual doorways and circumventing dead ends. In the stands, the spectators were riveted by Iko's performance. Each successful evasion and astute maneuver gradually transformed public perception from disdain to admiration. At last, Iko arrived at the maze's core. The final challenge was a complex locking mechanism that demanded solving a sequence of riddles to unlock. Drawing upon his knowledge from journeys with Sam, Iko methodically solved the riddles, his fingers adeptly manipulating the dials and levers. As he pushed open the final gate and emerged into the arena's center, the crowd burst into applause. Iko had not only conquered the maze but had done so in record time, solidifying his position in the subsequent round. Sam awaited him at the exit, his smile beaming. "That was incredible, Iko. You're not just participating now, you're competing." The third round of the Galactic Challenge, known as the Gauntlet, was a grueling test of endurance and combat designed to push competitors to their physical limits. For Iko, whose diminutive stature had thus far been advantageous, this would prove to be his most formidable challenge yet. In the early hours, before the arena stirred to life, Sam and Iko trained in solitude. "This round is different," Sam warned, his tone grave as he handed Iko a lightweight, protective vest. "It's not solely about speed or cunning. You'll need to endure." Iko slipped on the vest, adjusting its fit. "I can handle it," he asserted, his voice resolute, although a trace of uncertainty flickered in his eyes. Sam clapped him on the shoulder. "I know you can. Just remember, it's okay to rely on more than just your own strength." The arena for the gauntlet was a brutal landscape of jagged rocks, steep cliffs, and deep waters. From the onset, the physical demands of the challenge were daunting. Larger competitors bulldozed ahead, using sheer brute force to overcome obstacles. Iko, however, needed to carve out smarter, more efficient paths. As the starting signal echoed, Iko darted forward, his eyes swiftly assessing the first obstacle. A massive boulder obstructed the path, compelling competitors to either climb over it or circumvent it. Iko opted for neither, instead discovering a narrow crevice slightly enlarged by the repeated impacts of his larger adversaries. "Use the ledges, Iko. Small steps, quick jumps." Sam's voice, relayed through the earpiece, guided him, serving as a beacon in the tumult. With nimble agility, Iko navigated through tighter spaces, conserving energy while his opponents wasted theirs on strenuous efforts. The initially silent crowd gradually began to voice their appreciation for his astute tactics. The next hurdle was a combat simulation with robotic adversaries mimicking enemy combatants. Here, Iko's diminutive size put him at a disadvantage, each blow he sustained visibly sapping his strength. Gasping for breath, he evaded and countered, leveraging his agility to deactivate the robots with rapid, targeted strikes at their weak points, a technique honed with Sam's guidance. Keep moving, Eco! You're almost there. Sam's encouragement bolstered Eco as he neared the final stretch, a prolonged segment dedicated to testing sheer endurance. Eco's muscles burned, his lungs screamed for air, but the sight of the finish line ignited a final burst of adrenaline. With a renewed surge of energy, he sprinted across the finish line, collapsing into Sam's embracing arms. You did it, Sam declared, his voice thick with pride as he helped Eco to his feet. You really did it. The crowd's cheers were now resonant, their respect earned not merely for Eco's cunning and agility, but for his undeniable bravery and perseverance. Competitors who had initially scoffed at him now offered nods of acknowledgement, their attitudes transformed by his display of resilience. Retreating to their prep area, Sam analyzed the data from the round, his thoughts already strategizing for the impending challenges. You've proven you're not just agile and clever, Eco. You're durable. You're a survivor. That evening, as the arena lights dimmed and the spectators dispersed, Eco and Sam shared a moment of quiet reflection. We're changing how they view us, Eco whispered, gazing at the stars. Sam smiled, squeezing his shoulder. No, you're changing how they see us. And we're just getting started. The final round of the Galactic Challenge was designed as the ultimate test of both mind and muscle, synthesizing all previous trials within the vast coliseum of the Vortex Arena. Today, it was transformed into a dynamic battlefield, replete with shifting terrains and multifaceted objectives. The remaining competitors were the elite of the elite, and among them, Eco had emerged as a respected contender. The arena was packed, the atmosphere charged with anticipation. Fans who had tracked Eco's journey from the outset filled the stands, their enthusiastic cheers providing a resonant backdrop as the competitors took their positions. Sam and Eco huddled together for one last strategy session. This isn't just about speed or strength, Sam imparted, checking the gear meticulously. It's about adaptability. The arena will shift, the objectives will relocate, and you'll need to think on your feet. Eco nodded, his focus unwavering. I'm ready, he declared, his voice resolute. Despite his diminutive stature, his presence on the field was commanding, a testament to his arduous journey and the challenges he had surmounted. As the round initiated, the first objective surfaced, a series of puzzles demanding physical interaction for resolution. Eco darted ahead, his movements deliberate and calculated. Each puzzle was an intricate mechanism, and while the larger competitors utilized brute force, Eco employed his agility and intellect, adeptly manipulating levers and dials to swiftly advance through the section. From the sidelines, Sam monitored intently, his communicator in hand. Next, you've got the agility track. Watch the floor panels, they're traps. With a brisk nod, Eco hastened toward the agility course. Here, panels on the ground shifted unpredictably, orchestrating a perilous dance of motion. Eco's nimbleness shone as he navigated the course, leaping from one safe spot to another, scarcely touching the panels long enough to activate them. The audience gasped and applauded each of Eco's adept maneuvers. His former underdog status, once a source of derision, now endeared him to the spectators, who were riveted by his performance, witnessing what many had deemed improbable. When the final objective was unveiled, the arena morphed yet again, this time into a simulated combat zone. Holographic adversaries materialized, each programmed to adapt and counter the competitor's last successful maneuver. Eco's task was to outwit a system designed to anticipate and parry his moves. Eco, remember, unpredictability is key. Keep varying your tactics, Sam's voice crackled through the calm. Taking a deep breath, Eco dived into the combat simulation. He started with predictable dodges and weaves but swiftly altered his strategy. Employing feints and misdirections, he bewildered the holographic sensors, exploiting their brief lapses to land effective strikes. As the final buzzer echoed, Eco stood triumphant, his last opponent dissolving into pixels around him. The arena erupted in applause, celebrating not just the spectacle of his victory but the spirit with which it was achieved. As Sam joined Eco in the center of the arena, the cheers intensified. You did more than compete today, Sam exclaimed, patting Eco on the back as they faced the crowd. "You inspired." As the final echoes of the crowd's roaring approval subsided, Eco and Sam stood amidst the now quiet arena, the enormity of their victory settling around them like the calm after a tempest. They had triumphed not only in the Galactic Challenge, but had also reshaped the galactic narrative around strength and intelligence, demonstrating that the two attributes were not mutually exclusive. In the days that followed their victory, the repercussions of their success became palpable. They received a flood of invitations to speak at planetary assemblies, educational institutions, and even other competitions. Eco, once a target of mockery, was now celebrated as an emblem of cunning and resilience. "We've ignited something greater than ourselves, Eco," Sam observed as they sifted through the invitations. "You've become a beacon for anyone who's ever felt underestimated." Eco appeared contemplative, his gaze reflecting a profound grasp of his newfound role. "I want to leverage this, Sam. I aim to demonstrate that being small doesn't equate to being weak." Together, they embarked on a tour, starting with schools and universities where Eco's narrative could inspire the next generation. At each venue, Eco showcased his agility and intelligence, while Sam elaborated on the strategic planning and preparation that underpinned their tournament successes. A particularly memorable event took place at a university on a lesser-known planet in the Outer Rim, where Eco engaged in a friendly yet challenging obstacle course with the students. His involvement went beyond mere exhibition. It was interactive, enlightening, and invigorating for all participants. "Watching you compete is like seeing theory transformed into perfect execution," an impressed student remarked after the event, a sentiment that echoed across many hearts throughout the galaxy. During their travels, Eco and Sam also visited various scientific councils, advocating for inclusivity in technology and competition designed to ensure that beings of all sizes and strengths could participate and excel. Their efforts led to the introduction of new categories in the Galactic Challenge, designed to assess a broader spectrum of abilities. Their tour culminated in the launch of the Eco Initiative, a foundation aimed at promoting diversity in competitive and educational spheres. The initiative offered scholarships, training programs, and innovation grants, with a particular focus on technologies that augmented individuals' inherent capabilities. As they announced the initiative on the anniversary of their victory, Eco addressed a vast assembly, his voice resonant and motivational. "Each of us possesses something unique, something irreplaceable. Let's construct a galaxy where everyone has the opportunity to showcase it." Standing beside him, Sam was filled with immense pride. Together, they had altered the trajectory of a competition, but more significantly, they had impacted the lives of countless beings across the cosmos. As the ceremony drew to a close, they surveyed the sea of faces, diverse in species yet united in their admiration and hope. Eco's journey had begun as a personal quest to surmount challenges, but it had blossomed into a movement that redefined the limits of possibility. "This is merely the beginning," Sam whispered to Eco as they descended from the podium, prepared to encounter new challenges the galaxy might offer, confident they would confront them together as partners and trailblazers in a universe increasingly appreciative of intellect as well as strength.